Welcome to Cooking with Steve. Today we're going to show you folks at home how to hopefully make yourself a Pizza Hut style pizza right in your own kitchen with ingredients you probably have on hand. We're going to begin with 1 1/3 cups of warm water. The water has to be 105 degrees Fahrenheit. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot mess this up because it's very important to culture the yeast accurately. Next, I like to add a dash of sugar into the water, just your normal white sugar. Doesn't matter really how much, just half a teaspoon. And stir that in. Next part is very crucial, the amount of yeast. Now you're going to want to take your digital scale and calibrate it and zero it. You have to add precisely 1.7 grams for this recipe. Any more, and you're going to bake a cake. Any less, you're making pancakes. Alright, so 1.7 grams, and we're going to stir that in really well to activate the yeast. Some people skip this step, I don't. So, I'm going to take one I prepared earlier, and it's ready to add the flour. Now, in a large mixing bowl, you add your activated yeast mixture, along with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Could be soybean oil, could be corn oil, could be peanut oil, but just vegetable oil. Now once that's in there, you take your food bank flour and you're going to put 4 cups into this. And from the food bank it comes in these little pouches, and you just measure it out pretty accurately, fluff it up, because if you got too much flour, you can't take it out and it throws the recipe off. But too little, you fluff it up nicely, you get your 4 cups, and you can deal with that later. Next thing you're going to take is your milk powder. It came from the food bank as well. I think it's milk powder, it might be Coffee Mate, I don't know. But a 1/4 cup goes in. I'm good enough that I know what that looks like on my own. You probably want to use a measuring cup. So we're going to mix together our 3 ingredients and then knead to perfection. With whatever. Stir it up at first or dump it all in. It really comes down to how you knead it. The next part, the kneading. You want to do this for 20 minutes if you can. Some people can't, I can. So we're probably going to see you in 20 minutes when I have this kneaded up nicely. But thanks for watching up until now. I'll see you in a few minutes. You done? Stop filming. Alright, now I've kneaded the dough for approximately 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and we got a nice uniform. When it feels like a breast, it's good. And what you need to do next is roll it out thin. What you have to use for that is a rolling pin. If you don't have one like me, you could use a bottle of vodka as a rolling pin, and then just, you know, roll back and forth, and it should roll easily and smoothly and not stick to the rolling pin. If you don't have vodka to use, you could use Kahlua for the rolling pin, or a wine, even soda pop, for instance, could work. But what you want is a nice glass bottle if you don't have an actual rolling pin, which I don't myself. But once it's rolled out, this can take a while because the dough shrinks back a little after you roll it out, but you want to get it 1/2 inch thick overall. So roll yours out at home, and I will see you back in a few seconds when we go fast forward through time, and this is ready to pan. Now once your dough is pan handout here. Take off any pieces of the label that might have stuck to the dough from the bottle. And what you're going to want to do is normally use a deeper pan than this, but there's a cake in the fridge that has the other pan, so you're going to have to be stuck with this one. But this might seem crazy, just dump the fucking oil in, like lots. There's a reason Pizza Hut greasy like that. And you roll her around and get her all over the pan. What you want is to have this oil in the pan when you rise the dough. And put in a little bit more. And that's what a good pan looks like when it comes to this sort of shit. And yeah, put in the dough. Don't worry that it doesn't come right to the edge of the pan, because it's gonna rise. But next trick is you gotta find your Pam or something like that. Yeah. And you spray it around the edge of the dough. Like that. Perfect. Then you just cover it in saran wrap, and usually what I do, I don't have a proofer here, so what I have to do is cover it up with something so it doesn't dry out, and turn the oven on a little bit, then turn it off right after, put it in, and the heat will just rise it right up in there. Actually, I'm fortunate enough that I have another identical pan. I can put it on top of this one so that it doesn't dry out. But we got to let this rise for an hour, hour and a half until it doubles in size. And don't be afraid if it gets too big. You can always punch it down again, but you're going to want this to fill the pan right to the corners. And start to cook now, and hopefully yours at home looks just like this, and it's going to be great. So we're going to see you in an hour and a half from now. She's going to be back soon. I don't want to drink it all on her. You're not filming, are you?
3, 2, 1.
Throw on some sauce on the bottom, because you're going to want sauce. I just use any pasta sauce. You can go nuts and make your own, but this is fucking good enough. But get a bit of a layer of sauce on. I don't know the actual measurements for it, I don't know. But you get that on right to the edges, and you're going to be laughing when this comes out of the oven, because you're going to want to have some of it. But the oven, meanwhile, has been preheated to 475 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's a high temperature, but it's the way they cook it in the shops, and that's the way we're going to cook it at home. If you have a convection oven, all the better. You can turn on the convection, and it'll cook it more evenly, more appropriately, like you would expect at a pizzeria. But if you don't, you just end up with a tougher crust, and not as tender on the inside. But one of the biggest tricks is that you're going to want to put the cheese down first. Like, put a base of cheese onto the pizza, and just cover the sauce really with it is all you want to do. And okay, and that's good. You get a base of cheese on to build from. Base of cheese on a pizza. And that's, yeah, actually how they do it in the hut too, is they'll have a base, and if you like the pizza that has little bits in the crust that have burned on to the side, you can put those there too, because it's your pizza, it's your canvas. But we got a base of cheese on, and now I'm just gonna come on over to the toppings. I'm gonna put down, some ham. We'll throw down some of this pineapple. Ham and pineapple, cheapest pizza I can build. So that's what I'm building, and money is a factor. So when you, if you're trying out a few pizzas and you are experimenting around, start with the cheap ingredients. Like try a pepperoni, or even try a cheese pizza. just because the crust and cheese is not all that expensive really. If you put a ton of toppings on, if the pizza sucks, you're gonna lose all the toppings. But you know, this is good standby. It's the first pizza I've actually made in a while, so I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I pretty much remember how to do it. And once again, there's more toppings. I'm pretty generous with this. The one thing I forgot to mention earlier on is that you got to put some salt to taste into the dough. Otherwise, it's gonna suck, because it'll taste like a biscuit or a cracker or something. I don't know, but whatever. So I got it pretty well topped. May as well use all of it because it's there. And put it all on. Spread it around. That's another thing you want. You want your toppings to be pretty dry. I can sometimes. Pizza is perfect. Pizza Hut pizza out of the oven right now. And yeah, beautiful. It looks just like your usual panormas. So this is what you get out of this recipe. Browned it up a little bit on the top, but this is what you can expect from the recipe that I just gave you. And beautiful crust on the bottom. You know, it looks like exactly Pizza Hut fucking pizza. And that's what it's all about.